Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we got another game review recap to discussing the games that happened over the past couple of days on Tuesday and Wednesday, and looking forward to the games that are happening on Thursday and Friday. We'll go through all that coming up right now. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here at the Internet Talk Channel. Before we get into this video, don't forget to like this video and subscribe down below. We have 1,500 subscribers. Thank you for all your support. I've never been able to do it with all of you guys. So don't forget to continue to subscribe so we can hit 250 subscribers. Now, as usual, I'm going to be discussing another game review recap to discuss over the past couple of days. We had an interesting last couple of days. We had 13 games played on Tuesday. We had 2 games played yesterday and Wednesday. We'll also look ahead to the next couple of days of NHL action, and we'll also look at the standings as of right now. So get to all of that. First, we're going to start out with the games that have happened over the past couple of days. First, the 13 games that happened over on Tuesday. A lot of interesting NHL action. First, the Boston Bruins were able to break a 1-1 tie in the third period, scored 3 straight goals, and beat the Columbus Blue Jackets 4-1 to start off Tuesday's game action. Very fantastic game from Boston, who beats Columbus for a second straight time. They were able to improve to 23-7-6, dropping the Jackets down 12-19-8, so not a great game there from the Jackets. One they probably want to have back, but still, it was a really good game there from the Bruins. Van Riemsdyk had a 3.9 for goal and 2 assists, while Frederick, Heinen, and Shankirk also scored for the Bruins in the win. While for the Jackets, Johnson was the lone goal scorer in the loss. So not a great game there from the Jackets. One they probably want to have back, but still, fantastic win there for the Bruins. Huge win, and they improve and get a little bit further in the Atlantic Division standings. Then we saw the Carolina Hurricanes make a statement by absolutely annihilating the Metro-leading New York Rangers 6-1. They improved to 21-13-4. They're on a little bit of a roll now. They look really, really good. They look like last year's Carolina Hurricanes. Well, the Rangers dropped down to 25-10-1. So very good stuff there from the Carolina Hurricanes. Shea had a 3 assist night. Svechnikov scored twice. Drury had a goal and 8 assists. And Martinook, Chatfield, and Bunting also scored for the Canadiens in the win. While Kreider was the lone goal scorer in the loss for the Rangers. So this was a really bad game from the Rangers, one they probably want to put in the review mirror. Don't really like how they played in this one. The Carolina Hurricanes were all over them. This is a huge win there for Carolina. So impressive win there for the Carolina Hurricanes. Then we saw the Washington Capitals against the Pittsburgh Penguins, a really classic matchup between Crosby and Ovechkin, where we saw the Capitals jump out to a 4-0 lead, and the Penguins were unable to come from behind and take the victory, as the Caps were able to win 4-3, hold off a late comeback attempt, and improve to 18-11-5, dropping the Penguins to 18-14-4. So not a great game there from the Penguins. Almost came back, so it was a decent game, but not a fantastic game there from Pittsburgh. For the Capitals, Sandin had 2 assists, and Ovechkin, Wilson, Malenstein, and Ferravari were 4 goal scorers in the win. While for the Penguins, Gensel, Raquel, and Crosby all had a goal and 8 assists for Penguins in the loss. So it wasn't a great game there from Pittsburgh. Definitely made interesting late in the game, but was the Capitals coming with the victory, and they climbed a little bit in the standings. Then we saw the Montreal Canadiens jump out to a 4-1 lead over the Dallas Stars. Once again, Stars tried to come back, made a 1-goal game at one point, but it was too little too late. The Habs were already too far ahead, and the Montreal Canadiens were able to win by a score of 4-3, going back up to 500 at 16-16-5, dropping the Dallas Stars to 22-10-4. So not a great game there from Dallas, and one they probably would have back against the lower-end Montreal team. For the Canadiens, Harrison and Suzuki both had a goal and 8 assists, and Caulfield and Gooley both scored for the Canadiens in the win. While Johnston had a goal and 8 assists, Marchman had 2 assists, and Ben and Robertson also scored for the Stars in the loss. So it wasn't a great game there from Dallas. One they really don't want to replicate. This was a really bad game for them, but still, a really good game for the Canadiens. Really resilient effort. Showed really good stuff for getting up to a 4-1 lead, and they were able to hold on. So very good stuff there to get back up to 500 for Montreal. Then we saw Calgary jump out to a 2-0 lead, and they were able to hold on and get back up to 500 by beating the Minnesota Wild 3-1. So a very good win there for Calgary. The Flames were able to get back up to 500 at 16-16-5, while the Wild fall back down to 500 at 16-16-4. So both these teams are now back to 500. Not great stuff there for Minnesota, who's lost 3 straight. Really good stuff there for Calgary, who's won back-to-back games. So really good game there from the Flames. Uyghur had 2 assists, and Huberdeau, Coleman, and Mangiapane were the 3 goal scorers in the win, while Maroon was the lone goal scorer for the Wild in the loss. So not a great game there for Minnesota, but still, it was really interesting, really close, tightly contested affair. 1-goal game throughout most of this game, but it was the Flames who come away with the victory. So really good one there for Calgary. Then we saw the Nashville Predators hold on to a 1-0 lead for most of this game against the Chicago Blackhawks, get a couple of late goals, and were able to shut out the Chicago Blackhawks 3-0. Very good win there for the Predators, who improved to 21-16-1, dropping the Hawks to 11-24-2. So not great stuff there for Chicago. For Nashville, Nyquist and O'Reilly both had a goal and an assist. Evangelista also scored for the Predators in the win, and Saros stopped all 21 shots he faced in the shutout and the victory for the Nashville Predators. So really good stuff there. After a 3-game losing streak, the Predators had back-to-back wins. This was a really impressive win and a huge win there for the Nashville Predators. Meanwhile, bad loss for the Blackhawks will continue to find ways to fall in the standings. So not great stuff there for Chicago. Then we saw Winnipeg Jets grab a second period lead, hold on, and would not let the Bulls back into the game as they would beat Tampa 4-2, continuing their impressive stuff from December and improving to 23-9-4. Dropping Tampa to 18-16-5, so not a great game there from the Bolts, one they probably would want to have back, but still really good game there from the Jets. Mesnikov had 3 assists, Baron had a goal and an assist, and Iafallo, Ehlers, and Pionk also scored for the Jets in the win. Or for the Lightning, Hedman had 2 assists, Kucherov had a goal and an assist, and Stamkos also scored for the Bolts in the loss. So not a great game there for Tampa, and one they would probably want to have back. This was an embarrassing game for the Bolts, but still really good win there for the Jets to continue to keep pace for top spot in the Central Division. Then we saw the Florida Panthers beat the Arizona Coyotes 4-1. Very impressive win there for the Panthers, who scored 3 third-period goals to improve to 23-12-2, dropping the Arizona Coyotes to 19-15-2. So really good win there for the Panthers. Verhaeghe had a goal and an assist, and Reinhart, Kachuk, and Forsling also scored for the Panthers in their 5th straight win. While for the Coyotes, Kerfoot's lone goal scorer as their winning streak comes to an end. So not a great game there from the Coyotes. Definitely a really close game for most of this game, but it was the Panthers who were able to pull ahead in the 3rd period and wind up winning. So huge win there as they keep pace with the Boston Bruins for the Atlantic Division title. Then we saw the Edmonton Oilers, after blowing a 2-goal lead, storm back and score 3 unanswered goals to beat the Philadelphia Flyers 5-2. Very impressive win for the Oilers to improve to 19-15-1, dropping the Philadelphia Flyers to 19-13-5. So not a great game there from the Flyers, and they're a little bit closer back down to 500. McDavid had 5.8 with a goal and 4 assists. Nugent Hopkins with 2 goals and an assist, and Hyman with a goal and 2 assists, both at 3-point nights. And Draisaitl had a goal and an assist as well in this game. While for the Philadelphia Flyers, Konechny had a goal and an assist, Farabee had 2 assists, and Stahl also scored for the Flyers in the loss. So not a great game there from the Flyers. One they would really want to have back. They were able to get this game back up to 500, but they did squander that opportunity and wound up losing in regulation after giving up 3 straight goals. It's not a great game there from the Flyers, and one the Oilers would definitely like to have, as this is a really good win and they improved their winning streak. So really good stuff there for Edmonton. Then we saw the Colorado Avalanche in a back and forth game wind up beating the Islanders in overtime 5-4. A huge OT win there for the Avalanche, who improved to 24-11-3, dropping the Islanders to 17-10-10. So really good win there for the Avalanche, who needed a win to keep pace with teams like the Jets for the top spot in the Central. For the Avalanche, McKinnon, a goal in overtime and 2 assists, had a 3-point night, as well as Cale Makar with 3 assists. Nichushkin scored twice, Duran had a goal and an assist, Duran had 2 assists, and Tate also scored for the Avalanche in the win. For the Islanders, Nelson had a goal and an assist, and Holmstrom, Engvall, and Romanov were also scored for the Islanders in the OT loss. So not a great game there from the Islanders, one they definitely want to have back, but still, it was an impressive win there from the Avalanche, who were able to come back from down 4-3 in the 3rd period, get the game tying goal, and then McKinnon scores the OT winner to put the Avalanche to a huge win. So very good stuff there for Colorado. Then the Vancouver Canucks would have a fantastic first period, scoring 5 straight goals and ending the Ottawa Senators right from the get-go. This was a huge lead that the Canucks built up in the first period, up to 5-0, and they would hold on for a huge 6-3 victory over the Ottawa Senators to improve to 24-10-3, dropping the Ottawa Senators to 14-19-0. So not a great game there from Ottawa, definitely one they probably want to have back, but still a very good game there from the Vancouver Canucks. For Vancouver, Studer had a 3-point with 2 goals and an assist. Pettersson scored twice, Miller had a goal and an assist, and Cole, first as member of the Vancouver Canucks, also scored for the Canucks in the win. For the Ottawa Senators, Tarasenko scored twice, and Giroux had a goal and an assist for the Senators in the loss. So not a great game there from Ottawa. Definitely dug themselves into quite big of a hole. Almost came out of it. They had a 2-goal game at one point, but this was a all Vancouver, all the time sort of game, and the Canucks were able to improve and are now in sole possession of the Pacific Division title. Then we saw the Maple Leafs take on the LA Kings in the first half of a back-to-back, and the Leafs were able to get a huge win. Leafs improved to 18-10-7 with a huge 3-0 victory over LA, dropping the Kings to 29-5. So a really good win there for the Leafs. Nylander scored twice, Bertuzzi had 2 assists. Yarncroc also scored while Jones stopped all 31 shots he faced in the victory. So very good game there from Jones in their first game since waiving Ilya Samsonov. It was a very fantastic game from the Leafs. Definitely played really good, one of their better defensive games of the season. And they were able to shut down the Kings' offense. Really good stuff there for Toronto. And then the last game on Tuesday, the Detroit Red Wings were able to put out a narrow 5-3 victory over the San Jose Sharks to improve to 18-16-4, dropping the Sharks to 9-26-3. Very good win there for the Red Wings to improve to 18-16-4 and keep ahead of 500. Raymond had 3 assists, Perron scored twice, Sprong had a goal and an assist, and Rasmussen and Compher also scored for Red Wings in the win, while Ferraro had 2 assists, and Bailey, Barabanov, and Zetterlund were the 3 goal scorers for Sharks in the loss. So not a great game there from the Sharks, and 1-1 had back. This was a winnable game right until the very end, but still the Red Wings were able to pull out with the huge 3-2 victory. Also, much needed win there for the Red Wings. So really good win there for Detroit. Those are all the 13 games that happened over the past couple of days on Tuesday. And now going over to 2 games that happened on Wednesday. First, the New Jersey Devils, they were able to get out to a pretty decent 3-1 lead. The Capitals would come back and tie it, but then they would score 3 unanswered and beat the Washington Capitals 6-3 to improve to 20-14-2 to drop the Washington Capitals to 18-12-6. So not a great game there from the Capitals. Definitely were resilient to tie this game up, but it was the Devils who come away with the victory. He shared a 3-point with 2 goals and an assist. McLeod and Mercer both scored twice, and Holtz and Halla both had 2 assists for the Devils in the win. For the Capitals, Kuznetsov had a goal and an assist, Ovechkin had 2 assists, and both McMichael and Carlson also scored for the Capitals in the loss. So it wasn't a bad game there from the Capitals. Definitely made it close around the second period, but still, it wasn't a great game, and the Devils were able to pull with the victory. So huge win there for New Jersey to climb the Metro Division standings. And then we saw the Toronto Maple Leafs wind up beating the Anaheim Ducks. The Leafs were able to come back from that 1-0, score a late third period goal, send it to overtime, and get the OT winners. They were able to beat the Anaheim Ducks in overtime 2-1. So a very fantastic win there for the Leafs to improve to 19-10-7, dropping the Ducks to 13-23-1. So very good stuff there for the Leafs. Riley had 2 assists, and both Matthews, who had the OT winner and the 30th goal of the season, and Tavares were 2 goal scorers for the Leafs in the win, while Vautrin was the lone goal scorer for the Ducks in the loss. And Dostal made a Ducks record 55 saves in that game. Dostal was absolutely phenomenal. It was not enough to get the Ducks to win in this game, but he was absolutely brilliant keeping this game a 1-0 Ducks for most of this game. So a huge win there for the Leafs, but a very fantastic performance there from Dostal and the Anaheim Ducks. So really good games there on Wednesday, but those were only 2 games that happened on Wednesday. So definitely lots of interesting action from the past couple of days on Wednesday and over on Tuesday. So really good, interesting action. Going over to a quick game preview here for the next couple of days of game action. They're going to be 13 games later today on Thursday. So there's a handful of games starting at 4 p.m. Pacific time. First, Penguins take on Bruins. Bruins look to keep their winning streak going and try and climb the Atlantic Division standings even more, make more of a lead for themselves. Take on a Pittsburgh Penguins team was looking to try and get back into the playoff race. The Montreal Canadiens take on the Buffalo Sabres. Sabres looking to get closer to 500. Canadiens looking to keep winning and get above 500. Then we see the Blackhawks take on the Rangers. Blackhawks trying to end this losing streak of theirs. Rangers looking to try and get back to being the East leaders in the Eastern Conference. And then also at 4 o'clock, the Jackets take on the Flyers. Flyers looking to get back on the winning side of things after back-to-back losses to the Alberta teams. Jackets looking to get a win to try and end this losing streak of theirs, so that'll be interesting to see. Then at 5 p.m. Pacific time, the Colorado Avalanche take on the Dallas Stars. Both teams looking to try and get the Central Division lead. Dallas coming off a loss against Montreal, Colorado coming off a huge win over the New York Islanders, so that'll be an interesting game. Then the Tampa Bay Lightning take on the Minnesota Wild, also at 5 p.m. Pacific time. The Wild will be looking to get back up to above 500. Tampa looks to avoid going back to within 1 game of 500, so that'll be an interesting game. Also at 5 p.m. Pacific time, the Flames take on the Predators. Preds looking for yet another win to get the 3 straight wins. Flames looking to try and get back above 500. Canucks take on the Blues at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Canucks looking to get to another win. Blues looking to avoid going back down to 500. At 6 p.m. Pacific time, the Owls take on the Coyotes. Owls looking to get back to 8 games above 500. Arizona looking to get back on the winning side and improve to 20 wins. Then at 7 p.m. Pacific time, the Seattle Kraken take on the Ottawa Senators. Kraken looking to have points in 10 straight games. Senators looking to try and get back on the winning side of things and get to within 4 of 500. Panthers take on the Golden Knights, another rematch of last year's Stanley Cup final. Knights looking to avenge their game from earlier a couple of weeks ago after they lost to Florida. Florida looking to keep their winning streak going and improve in their season. Then at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, the Red Wings take on the Kings. Red Wings looking to get another win over California team. Kings looking to try and improve and close the gap between them and the Canucks and the Knights. And then at 7:30, Jets take on the Sharks. Sharks looking to hit their 10th win of the season. Jets looking to try and keep this point streak of theirs alive, so that'll be interesting to see. And then there are 3 games that happen on Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Devils take on Blackhawks. Blackhawks looking to possibly get back-to-back wins. Devils trying to get another win to try and get back up in the Metro Division. Caps take on Canes, two really good Metro Division teams. Both teams looking for a couple of points. And at 7 p.m. Pacific time, the Jets take on the Ducks. Jets looking to try and improve and climb the Central Division standings with back-to-back wins against California teams. Ducks trying to build off of those styles' fantastic performance and get back to a winning way. So it'll be interesting to see. Well, those are your game previews for the next 2 days on Thursday and Friday. Now going over to a quick standings preview. As of January 4th, 2024, so as it sits right now, the Boston Bruins lead the Atlantic Division standings with 52 points, followed by 48-point Florida and 45-point Toronto. 51-point New York Rangers are first in the Metro, followed by 46-point Carolina and 44-point New York I. 43-point Philly and 42-point Jersey are the two wildcard teams, and they're followed by 42-point Washington, 41-point Tampa, 40-point Pittsburgh, 40-point Detroit, 37-point Montreal, 34-point Buffalo, 32-point Columbus, and 28-point Ottawa. And the western side, you have the 51-point Avalanche leading the Central, followed by 50-point Winnipeg and 48-point Dallas. You have 51-point Vancouver leading the Pacific side, followed by 49-point Vegas and 45-point LA. Then the two wildcard teams are 43-point Nashville and 40-point Arizona. And then the teams out of the playoffs right now are 39-point Edmonton, 39-point Seattle, 37-point St. Louis, 37-point Calgary, 36-point Minnesota, 27-point Anaheim, 24-point Chicago, and 21-point San Jose. And those are the teams out of the playoff spot as of right now. So it'll be interesting to see. But those are your standings as of right now. Just going over to a quick look at how the teams are doing, like we do every Thursday, compared to how they were doing last year. The Canucks are 16 points ahead of where they were last year at this point in time. Florida's 12 points ahead of where they were last year at this point in time. Philly's 10 points ahead of where they were last year. Arizona's 9 points ahead of where they were last year. The Colorado Avalanche and the New York Rangers are 8 points ahead of where they were last year. The Kings and the Jackets are 6 points ahead of where they were last year. And the Jets are 5 points ahead of where they were last year. So a lot of interesting stuff there. And then teams who are doing worse than they were last year. Toronto is 5 points lower than where they were last year. The Devils are 6 points lower than where they were last year. The Sharks, the Sabres, the Wild, and the Bruins are all 8 points lower than where they were last year. The Kraken are 9 points lower than where they were last year. And the Bolts and Canes are 10 points lower than where they were last year. So definitely interesting to see some of these teams who are not doing overly good and some of these teams who are doing a lot better than they were doing last year. That's all I'm going to talk about here today. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on all this down in the comment section below. Which games were you most excited about over the past couple of days? Was it some of the games that happened on Tuesday or some of the games that happened on Wednesday? Definitely love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. Which games are you most looking forward to over the next couple of days? Any of the 13 games happening today or any of the 3 games happening tomorrow? What do you think about the standings? Are you surprised that Edmonton, Seattle are almost in a playoff spot? Are you surprised Arizona's still in a playoff spot? Are you surprised Winnipeg's close to being the Central Division champions right now? Are you surprised that the Carolina Hurricanes and New Jersey Devils are back to being their old selves from last year? Are you surprised the Toronto Store are falling off a little bit? Definitely love to hear your guys' thoughts on all of that. Plus, what do you think about all the teams who are doing better and worse than they were at this exact same point in time last year? Definitely love to hear your guys' thoughts on all of that. But that's what I'm going to talk about for today. Remember to like this video, and if you really liked it, remember to subscribe down below. We have hit 200 subscribers. Thank you for all your support. I would never been able to without you guys. So don't forget to subscribe so we can hit 250 subscribers. I also do a blog talking about news, rumors, analysis, stuff like that. So if you check that out, I'll leave links in the description below. And I can't wait to see you guys all for next video. See you guys soon.